So this video is about changing or cleaning the filters in the ERV. This big black box here that is hard to get in the field of view is our ERV system, energy recovery ventilator, and it's kind of a tight fit in here. The first thing I recommend doing is unplugging it. That's a little bit of a challenge because the plug is hard to see, but it's back here. I'm coming to the right of the door here where there's all these looking back behind this big plug stuff here. Pushing it to the side. You can see back here there's on the thing, and you'll see back here there's a couple of, let's see, are we showing that? There we go. LEDs there that should undo. See, I just unplugged it and see how the LEDs went out. So here's the plug. I'll set that down there. Okay, now the top of this unit is where we access the filters, and I'm going to flip the screen around, which is by flipping the screen around. Can't do it mid-video, can I? Or does that do it? Okay. Well, I can't seem to flip the screen around, so I'm just going to try to do it this way. So, somewhere in this field of view, you should see a latch. There's a latch. I have to put my finger on it. So hopefully that shows up and you can see my finger touching the latch. There's one on each side. And so we're going to unlatch those. Okay, so those are unlatched. You can see this top comes off now. So we're going to remove this top, which is probably really a two-handed job, but it looks like I can do it with one hand. All right, so there's our top, a little dusty on the top there. So I removed that. Now we have access in here. So you can see the top of this. And there's an access panel there. And I think another one over there. Okay. So there's two access panels here. There's one. I'll put it in the back. And then here's the other one. That little thing there. And you know what? There's something else. So inside of these is the filter. And I can see this one's a little bit dusty. That's not too bad, but yeah, that's dusty. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's not dusty. So here's a dusty one, and here's a bunch of new ones. So you can see the difference. New one. Well, maybe that's hard to see. Maybe that angle. Yeah, so at the angle you can see there's more dust. See how that's dark? And that shows dust. So there's two of those filters, but there's also some other filters that we can reach down in and pull out. And I will have to pause this for that. But in here, I'm reaching down in. So this one's kind of, so you can see that is at the front side of it, or maybe the my finger goes there in that slot. That's where the filter went, in that slot on the inside, facing sort of the middle of the machine. Likewise, the filter goes in the slot back here on the inside. There's a slot just like that, facing the inside, sort of in the middle of the machine. Okay, I have them out. The second one, by the way, is really hard to get out, a lot less dusty, and they're different sizes. So the one that is in the slot that's furthest from the door when you come in is not only because it's longer, is hard to get out, but also because the ceiling slopes, so there's less room to get that one out. Now that I recall, in order to do so, I had to slightly pull the HRV off the base. It used to be lined up with that base. And you can see I pulled the front corner off a little bit, and then I was able to get it out, just barely. So we'll put the new ones in. The other thing, there's two kinds of filters. So there's these slide-in ones, that's one kind. But the other kind is a thick filter like this, these wedge filters. We got a bunch of these. These are cleanable. I got a whole bag of them. That gold bag there on the side, oops, I'm supposed to keep my thing this way, is filled with these wedgy things. And those are a little bit of a challenge to get out. So they fit into a wheel, a filter wheel. They have this little see that little string there? So they can be pulled by that string, or you can just put your finger in the side of the wedge and pull the filter wedge out. This doesn't look too dirty, but it is a little dirty. So I'm going to pull all those out and rinse them down and then replace them with the other ones. Now, to get those, I'm using a step stool to raise myself up higher. And they're in here. And I'm going to turn the light on. So I'm looking in the far slot here, where the tall filter slid in and out. And then there's this wheel down there. So when installing these, installing this long one is really a bear, but it is possible. And on these filters, they have little arrows here that show the airflow direction. So you want to make the air is flowing in towards the center, towards that wheel. And then the key to putting it in is that this, on this side here, there's a ridge at the top, but on this side there isn't one. So on this side there's a bumper, but there's no ridge. So that means it can be twisted all the way out if you want, initially, to get it in. And then the ridge is down towards the bottom, the slot that it's going to go in. So that's kind of the key. So we're going to take advantage of this twist spot and set only this edge in over here at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to give an update here. And I want to show the clip. In the center back here, there's a clip. A bit hard to see, but there's a clip here. Black on black in the dark, but so when you drop that down, it raises up this clip. Here you can see the round part. So we're going to clip that on the edge of the lid when I put it in, and then flip this back, flip that back up. That looks like it's going to be hard to see. And then also, I had mentioned, as far as these guys, that there's, I said 5, but there's actually 6 that go in the wheel. I have 10 extras, so when I rinsed out the other ones, I was able to replace it with these, with extra dry ones from my rotation. And I should remind whoever's listening that there's this little nylon handle here. There you go, little nylon handle there. You want to, for all the ones that have that, I want to make sure that faces out. And I'm putting them back in. As for putting them back in, it's a job for someone with long arms because you want to be able to reach all the way down to the bottom. So what I found is that putting a chair right there, this chair from the room, enables me to get my arm all the way up to the top level of the ERV, so that I can stick my arm all the way down in the bottom and seat the bottom corner of the pie filter, and make sure it's pushed all the way in. And it goes pretty easily. You push them all in. It would be hard for someone with long arms, without long arms. Someone with short arms, that would be hard for. Okay, here's a shot with the latch that I mentioned earlier, but I couldn't flip it around. So the latch is like this. You unlatch it like that, which raises up this clip. So when I'm putting it back on, can I get the clip to show? So I'm putting it back on. I want this clip to go on the edge. Another thing that was helpful in moving this is this brace. That's not a brace. This thing here, which is pivots. It's not tight at the top screw, and then on the other end it's held with tape. That I found helpful to rotate down so that I could slide the ERV towards that wall, because that kept it from moving very far, and the flex duct is compressible. That's probably not necessary. I didn't probably need to do that, but keep in mind that's an option.